right. Well, then in my case, hey, do you have legal matters that involve firearms? Then you need to call California firearms lawyer John Dillon. If you have questions about red flag laws, gun registration, gun transportation, or maybe you just need to know that your guns are California compliant, call our trusted firearms attorney, John Dillon. John Dillon specializes in California gun laws. Call 760-642-1750 or just go to their website at dillonlawgp.com.
All right, so we've talked to Heather from Orange County about Orange County gun owners and their voter guide. We've talked to Carla from Inland Empire about Inland Empire's voter guide. And now we're going to talk to Michael Schwartz about San Diego County's voter guide. If you go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com or SDCGO.org, you will see our November voter guide. And a lot of these are, there's some, pretty obvious choices. If you go through there, Rob McNellis, and Santee, Ron Hall, both those guys were fantastic. Of course, Rob's a founding board member for San Diego County Gun Owners. He's done a ton in the way of CCW, getting CCWs. He actually wrote op-eds criticizing the previous sheriff for not issuing. Christina Alicio, Laura Lothian, Tony Orlando. We just did a really great job of getting Laura Lothian elected in La Mesa. Now, of course, that was a special election a year ago. We got to get her reelected, and we got to get her some help. Christina Alicio was also on the board of San Diego County Gun Owners, and Tony Orlando took him to the range, vetted him thoroughly, a no-nonsense Second Amendment guy. Help us get those three elected. There's a lot of really great candidates. All of them on here are really great candidates. Dane White from Escondido is running for mayor. Joe Garcia, we've endorsed him before. Newcomer Marco Contreras down in Chula Vista is a fantastic candidate. And Melanie Burkholder and Keith Blackburn, both in Carlsbad, are really, really big supporters of San Diego County Gun Owners and the Second Amendment. And then Mike Johnson, SD Must, we had him on not too long ago. He's running in Escondido as well. He's somebody that definitely deserves your vote. In fact, he's looking for volunteers right now. We have a really great, well-rounded list of endorsements. A new guy up in Oceanside, Rick Robinson, who's running alongside of Corey Jensen and Brian Pepin and Poway. Of course, Gary Kendrick, someone we've endorsed before. Bill Wells, someone we've endorsed before. John Franklin out in Vista, who's also running with Armin Curdy. These are a really, really solid group of people. All are very fantastic. At the top of the list, of course, we have Amy Reichard, who's been wonderful. Jim Desmond, Jordan Marks, both guys that have been around from the beginning of San Diego County Gun Owners, have done a lot to support us. And then at the very, very top is Kelly Martinez, who's running for sheriff. And I want to talk a little bit about that because, a lot of people have a lot of questions. If you look at this list, so I don't know, 90% of these folks are Republicans. And, even down in the school board section, Pat Batten, Scott Wooden, Andrew Hayes, Dan Summers, all these guys. And during off-election years, gun owners come up to me in droves, and they say, look, we just want people that will support the Second Amendment. I don't care about the party. We want Democrats to support guns just as much as the Republicans. But then when it comes time, and we've endorsed 2 Democrats out of all these Republicans. And man, it makes people I really underestimated how loyal people are to what they perceive the Republican Party to be. Now, the Republican Party is just a political party. They're not there to defend your Second Amendment rights. There's not a single plank in their platform that they will stand by, if they know it means defeat. Okay, what they're about is winning. So that's fine. I'm not criticizing them for it, but you have to understand when you're walking into the polls exactly what it's all about. Now, when it comes to the sheriff, it's not like we have some kind of vendetta against the Republican Party. 90%, 95%, almost, everybody on this list is a Republican. Some of these are, huge Republican leaders in the party.
Well, you're trying to take politics out of the equation and give people opportunities to vote for the right people for the right job.
I want to shift party loyalty to principle loyalty. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about the principle of the Second Amendment.
I understand. But see, you're a 49er fan or you're a Raider fan.
Right.
Okay. 49ers probably, if they can't win, you hate them every day. But if you were to vote, you'd vote for them. And I think a lot of Democrats do it out of loyalty more so than matter of fact. What's the right party to come in the House?
It's gut check time.
Yeah.
When you've been voting for one party, your whole life,
and then you have to vote for
and you have to do something different, and it's gut check time.
It's terrible.
But what I'm here to tell you is nobody knows this sheriff's race more than I do.
Right.
In San Diego County. There's
He's
not
been
one
arrested 12
person.
times, folks. He knows it inside and out.
There's not one person in San Diego County. There's not a Republican. There's not a Democrat. There's nobody that knows this race. Nobody has met with both candidates. Nobody's interviewed both candidates as thoroughly as I have. And it just happens to be I'm the guy that advocates for the Second Amendment, right? Well, that's not the only thing I talk to them about. I talk to them about their viability. Mm-hmm. I talk to them about, are they doing the things that it takes to run the race? I talk to them about character. I talk to them about effectiveness. And nobody has uncovered what I've uncovered with the Republican candidate, John Hemmerling. And the guy is an absolute disaster. He's all over the map. He says one thing to one group, and then he says something to another group. The Union Tribune pulled their endorsement of him because he said some anti-trans things, and then he goes back, and now he's pro-trans, and who knows where this guy stands on anything, let alone the Second Amendment. When I talked to him and vetted him on Second Amendment issues, it was all a bunch of vague talking points. This guy is not your friend. He is not somebody who believes what you and I believe when it comes to the Second Amendment. Meanwhile, Kelly Martinez has done a fantastic job while she's been in the position of undersheriff, while she's been in the command staff. She's worked her way up. She's been in the sheriff's department for over 30 years. She's got the vote of the rank and file. The Deputy Sheriff's Association said, yep, this is our person. And she's done a fantastic job when it comes to CCWs. Now, I'm not saying this as somebody who's standing off to this, on the sidelines and watching. I'm actually working with the sheriff's department. We've spoken, we've emailed, we've talked a number of times. We've made real suggestions on how they can improve the system when it comes to CCWs, and she has agreed every step of the way. This isn't a casual thing. I'm not a wallflower here. I'm somebody who's actually been involved with Kelly Martinez. Now, a lot of people are worried because Kelly Martinez is endorsed by some of the worst Democrats who are, anti-gun in San Diego, people like Nathan Fletcher and Todd Gloria. And I got to tell you, if that's all you knew about the candidate, then yes, it should give you pause. But to understand why they endorsed, first off, we got Kelly was our pick first. So we got there first. We were working with Kelly for over a year, Kelly Martinez, for over a year on CCW issues and other things. We were vetting her long before they endorsed her. The reason they came in and endorsed her so hard is because the Democratic Party actually endorsed a guy named Dave Myers. Dave Myers is a soup sandwich. He is an absolute disaster. He is so far he's such an extremist. He's so incompetent that these top Democrats said, wait. You guys endorsed who for sheriff? So they stepped in and said, look, we've worked with Kelly Martinez. We've worked with the current command staff. We know they know what they're doing. We got to step in and help. So they endorsed her for her competence. It's not like they were sitting around going, hey, you know what? We got to ban guns. Let's go endorse Kelly Martinez for sheriff. That doesn't make any sense at all. So they endorsed her based on that. And oh, by the way, you know who else endorsed her? Joel Anderson. Joel Anderson endorsed Kelly Martinez. He is Mr. Republican. Now, he actually stepped outside of what the Republican Party, it's written into the rules that you can't endorse, a non-Republican. And he said, you know what? Don't care. She's the person for the job. She's doing a fantastic job. I don't care if I get my hand smacked. I'm going to do it. Nobody accuses Joel Anderson by looking at his record and things that he said and things that he's done in public office. No one accuses him of being a soft Republican. This guy is as Republican and is a Second Amendment as they come, period, full stop. Mm-hmm. So meanwhile, Hemmerling, it was endorsed by Dave Myers. Dave Myers is a far left-wing anti-gun. He actually wrote an op-ed saying, look, Democrats, you need to vote for the Republican, John Hemmerling, because the Democrat, Kelly Martinez, is way too pro-Second Amendment. Like, what world are we living in?
Yeah.
So, and Hammerling didn't reject that. He didn't say, oh, well, whatever, he can endorse what he wants. He's actually touting it. He's proud of this guy. Dave Myers is a left-wing progressive extremist. I mean, he makes AOC look like Reagan. Wow. I mean, he is such an incompetent, extremist. And Hammerling isn't rejecting it. He's not even passively just saying, hey, whatever, I appreciate the endorsement. He's actually bragging about it. So you have a choice here. It's not between Democrat and Republican. You have a choice between somebody who's experienced and has supported your gun rights, and you have someone else who has no experience, has nothing on their resume that can support the idea that he can lead a 4,000 person law enforcement agency. And oh, by the way, his previous job, he was a professional gun grabber. That's your choice. It's not between Democrat and Republican. If you look at our voter guide, almost everybody else is a Republican. It's not like we have something against Republicans. We don't have some kind of hidden agenda. We're clearly tend to favor Republicans because they tend to be better on the Second Amendment. But the Republicans messed up this time. They made a mistake. This election in November, you have to vote for Kelly Martinez for sheriff in San Diego County. Go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com. Join, $10 a month, $100 per year, whichever you prefer. But help us get the...
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel. Or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.